Hello my friends, I'm just enjoying this beautiful day outside and I thought that I would make a video sharing about a difficult decision that I've made kind of slowly over the last few years and how I came to the point where I am now. So many of you may know that when I was really sick, probably about 6-ish years ago, I started an Etsy shop, and the Etsy shop was called Fused with Love, and basically this shop had all sorts of awareness shirts and apparel, as well as stickers and pins, and also stuffed animals for people with chronic illness. And my goal with this shop was to encourage people dealing with chronic illness and just bring them joy and hope. And I ran this shop with the help of my mom and my husband, mostly from my bed. And so this was something that gave me a lot of sense of purpose when I was really sick, and it just brought me a lot of joy to be able to connect with others going through similar things. And it at the time really just felt like what I was supposed to be doing. But as I've been healing these past few years, I have felt conflicted about this shop, because the shop is something that I spent a lot of time on. I created these designs. I wanted these things to be encouraging for people going through difficult things, and I received such positive feedback from the shop. But as I was healing, for me, something that was super important for my own healing journey was letting go completely of the identity of being sick, letting go of claiming diagnoses that I had, and just stepping into this new belief that my body was designed to heal, and that I wasn't going to be sick forever, and that I was healing, that I wasn't chronically sick anymore. And that was something that was a huge turning point for me in my own healing. And so I felt this kind of sense of conflict over, I had to let go of that myself. These aren't things that I would want to wear myself because I'm healing, I'm focusing on healing. But I also recognize that not everybody is in the same place as I am in their own journey, and if this is encouraging to them, maybe I should keep doing it. And so I felt a lot of it was so hard for me to decide what to do over this shop, because it was something that was really special to me and something that was close to my heart. I just kind of wrestled with this for quite some time. And as you guys know, I started brain retraining, I think it was 3+ years ago now. And when I did that, actually, it took me a long time to decide to start brain retraining because of my shop, because I was like, oh, am I gonna have to give up the shop to do this? And what I kind of decided as a middle ground at that point was to stop marketing the shop and just to fill orders and to kind of just distance myself from it, but still continue to run it in, I guess, the least intensive way that I could, so that I could keep my focus on healing. And so I did continue the shop, but I just stopped adding new things. I stopped posting on my Instagram account and marketing it and all those things. I just filled the orders that were coming in, and I continued to receive positive feedback from the shop. So I did feel this kind of just conflicting feeling about it. As time went on, and as my beliefs surrounding chronic illness continued to change, and as I started to hear more and more healing stories of people with chronic illnesses of all kinds, really, that conflicting feeling grew stronger for me with the shop. And I also want to be clear that I'm not saying that it is wrong to wear an awareness shirt for a chronic illness or anything along those lines, but what I was selling in the shop no longer aligned with the beliefs that I had. And so this was a tough decision for me, because my goal with both the shop and with what I'm sharing now about healing is to help and encourage people and to bring people joy. And I would continue to receive these positive reviews, and so I was like, should I continue? It seems like this is bringing people joy. And ultimately I came to a point where it felt too far from what my new purpose was. And I really feel like now my purpose is to encourage people that healing is possible from chronic illness. And a lot of times with that comes this realization that in order to heal, we have to let go in a way of that identity of being chronically ill. And so it served a purpose at a time, and that shop brought me purpose during some of the hardest years of my life. But I came to a point where it didn't fit in my life anymore, and I felt like my time needed to be spent doing what I feel passionate about now, which is sharing the message of hope for true healing. And so last year, a little over a year ago, I took down all of the designs in my shop for chronic illness apparel. I donated all of my stickers. I donated all of the pins, all of the physical products I had, except for a couple of stuffed animals. Once I did that, once I donated the items, and the organizations I donated to were lovely, they were so grateful, and so I felt like those things could still go to encourage people and they weren't just going to waste. It was so hard for me to make that choice because I was just scared of that change. But once I did it, it felt completely right. It felt like the right step for me, and I really had wished that I had done it sooner. It just felt completely the best decision. And again, I am not saying that it is wrong to be selling these types of things or be wearing them or anything like that, but it just no longer aligned with my beliefs and my values, because those have changed a lot over the last few years. As you guys will know if you've been watching my videos, sometimes change is scary and it's hard, but if you feel that intuition of needing to do something in your life, then it's often best to follow it. And sometimes when you do, you're just like, oh, why was I so afraid to do that? That was the right choice. And that's how I felt over this. And now my shop has gone from Fused with Love to Healing with Rachel, and I just have a couple of t-shirts on there right now that are healing focused, and I will potentially be adding more in the future. But I think that as I am stepping into this new phase of life where I'm going to be a mother, right now I'm 26 weeks pregnant, and in just a couple of months we'll be having our first baby in our family, I have come to a point where I'm not going to be shipping things out of my house anymore, and anything that I have in the shop will just be a made to order thing where I have another company fill the orders and print the designs that I make. And so that will kind of be a nice, easy balance. But yeah, like I said, this was a really tough decision for me, but it has completely felt like the right one. And now I feel like I can 100% step into what I'm passionate about and kind of go more into some of these deeper topics that are kind of hard actually to talk about, because you don't want to say the wrong thing or offend anyone, but sometimes what people need to hear isn't always comfortable. Now I'm excited to go into topics about identifying with being chronically ill and how it's really difficult to heal from something that you identify with, and how important that can be, and not feel like it's conflicting with a shop that I have. And so I'm really grateful for what that brought me during a season of life, that it was the right thing. But I'm also grateful to be in a new season of life where I'm able to do what I'm passionate about and be able to encourage people to believe that healing truly is possible, because that is so much more impactful than a t-shirt could ever be. And so I just feel so blessed that I get to spread this message of hope, and it just makes those years of severe chronic illness feel worth it, because it really is something that I feel called to spread hope to people that have been going through similar things. So anyways, that's the update on my Etsy shop. The name has changed. I'm no longer shipping items from my home, and I've taken down all of the designs that had to do with chronic illness awareness. And I know I've said this many times, but I don't think it is wrong. It doesn't align with my beliefs, and I know that other people see things differently, and that's okay. But this has been something that has been really important in my own healing journey, and so it was the right decision, even though it was a hard decision. And I think especially some of the designs I had that said things like everything hurts or sick of being sick. Of course it was like cutesy and fun, and like, you know, might have given people a laugh, but there's this deeper meaning to it where that kind of ingrains that sentiment of I'm sick, I'm always going to be sick, or everything's always going to be hurting, and that continues to signal that message of danger to the brain, where it keeps us in survival mode and doesn't allow us to go into a state where healing can take place. And in order for healing to be able to take place, we have to signal safety to our brain consistently, and reinforcing a message that you're sick and in pain over and over through things that you wear and stickers that you put on your water bottles and whatnot, that subconsciously signals to your brain that you're sick, that you're staying sick, that you're not getting better. And that's just not a message that I want to be associated with. So anyways, that is my thought process on why I decided to essentially close my Etsy shop and rebrand it to things that are aligned with the message that healing is possible. So that's a wrap for this video. Let me know in the comments what other topics you'd like to see in future videos, and make sure to follow along on Instagram and subscribe, and I will look forward to seeing you in another video very soon.